NFL Network. Tomorrow night, there's a game on NFL Network. The Bears are coming to town to face the Giants, and that game is, of course, at 7:30 p.m. Eastern right here. Giants general manager Dave Gettleman turned heads this offseason with blockbuster moves like trading Odell Beckham Jr., drafting quarterback Daniel Jones, 6th overall. That caused a lot of shock waves. Landon Collins bouncing out of town as well. But President and CEO John Mara said that his faith in Gettleman has never wavered.
I wouldn't say I had any there was never any doubt in Dave's ability or in what his motivation was or what his skill level was. But, you don't like to see all that talent go out the door. But let's face it, we haven't, we had one winning season in 16, and, the other 5 or 6 years have not been so good since we won the last Super Bowl. So we needed some drastic changes. And, again, he had the courage of his convictions. He knew they would be unpopular moves, but he went and made them anyway.
Does this change how you feel about them at all?
Not yet. Daniel Jones threw 5 passes, and Twitter is doing the Vince McMahon walk for Dave Gettleman like he's dunking on everybody. The Daniel Jones thing will tell the story of Dave Gettleman moving forward. I will say this for the Giants. Something interesting going on. As you guys know, my family's been out of town for a long time. So no, they're back now. But I've been going to the home improvement store a lot. I won't say which one, but it's the one that pays Matt Ryan. And I ran into this guy named Terry. He works there. Terry watches the show every single morning. Okay. What's up, Terry? Says he's a huge Giants fan. And I was like, Terry, I don't know. Your biggest problem with the Giants is that the Cowboys and Eagles are really good. And he side-eyed me on the Cowboys. He goes, man, the Cowboys are a disaster. I'm not worried about them. It is interesting what's going on in Cabo and now Hawaii. If Zeke is going to be on the field, on and on, that might be the best thing going for the Giants right now. And it's season, the expectations are not that high. The Cowboys got issues. So I'm actually warming on the Giants. Need to see more from Daniel Jones.
And I like John Mara defending his general manager and speaking him up because I think there's a really interesting subplot to the Giants season. It is 68-year-old Dave Gettleman versus the NFL draft and NFL media industrial complex. We drag Dave Gettleman for trading Odell. You drag him big time for drafting Daniel Jones as high as 6. And for recent drafts, he's been crushed for taking a running back over a quarterback. He's been crushed for taking a running back in the top 10. Just look at these first-rounders. The last 3 years.
Well, hey, McCaffrey.
Hey, Christian McCaffrey was 8th overall. People scoffed at it. He might be the best running back in the sport. If he's not the best running back in the sport, maybe it's the guy he took last year, 2nd overall. Hey, look, those 3 guys right there, Jones, Lawrence, and Baker, everyone rolled their eyes when each one of them was taken this past April. Guess what? They might be really good, and they might be really important. So as much as the Steve Smith situation went ugly, and the Josh Norman situation went ugly, and the Odell Beckham situation did not end pretty, Dave Gettleman might have an eye for talent, and maybe John Mara realizes that, and maybe they're saying that we haven't been very good in the last couple of years. This might be the year we start building. I respect any boss, any owner that has his guys back. John Mara has that with Dave Gettleman.
The way you strengthen your cohesiveness is you have the back of the people you work with in public. The fact that Mara's tripling down saying, nah, Gettleman, he's stuck by his conviction. He's passionate about it. I'd rather have a GM that doesn't waver whenever he makes a decision, because we see that. We read that. One thing I learned being married is when I was young and I would make decisions about where we go to eat, where we go on vacation, and I was hesitant and I didn't have all the answers, and there was a little bit of shakiness in how I was approaching my wife and my family, she always changed plans. She's like, you know what, I had a plan B and C, and I knew you wasn't prepared and you didn't have it all planned out. We're good. We'll do it my way. Now, at 38 years old, I walk in like a man and say, listen, hey, babe, get your butt dressed. We about to go to eat. And then after that, we're going to take the kids, get some dessert. On the weekend, we about to hit the beach. You feel me? She's like, yeah, okay.
Nate, teach me the ways of the force.
So what I'm saying is if you're a GM, if you're a head coach, if you're a president of a team, when you make your decisions, you stand by your decisions. You're the head of that family. Everybody else will follow. And for whatever reason, I love that right now. To your point, Kyle, we have to see if it all works during the season.
And I don't think it's all for show. I don't think it's just for the media, for it to be a cohesive front as you're talking about either. I think he really does trust him. Because if you look at it, and I did this morning, just from the lens of being John Mara, from being the CEO, Gettleman was there from 99 to 2012. Like, what did they do in those years? They won 3 NFC. They went to the championship game 3 times. They have 2 Super Bowls in those years. And then when he left, they were a bottom 10 team while his Panthers were thriving and getting to the ship. So to me, he has done well for him. I don't think we'll know anything about Daniel Jones or Landon or losing Odell. And we can't say anything about that until the book is written.
And it might be a long-term discussion. It might not just be 2019. The Browns might be better than the Giants in 2019, but let's check in a couple years and see how Daniel Jones and DeAndre Baker and Dexter Lawrence are progressing.
Triggs, Booth, Jets, Falcons.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We got Le'Veon Bell. We're going to see him?
We might see Le'Veon Bell. At the very least, we know he'll be suiting up.
Love that. The other New York team, we've got to talk about them. These G-A-E-T-S.
Yes, I like it.
They think they have the best running back room in the NFL. Do
Ooh.
they?
Do they even have the best one in New York?
And Travis Kelce makes a bold prediction about his offense. You're going to go to the other New York.
Any room Saquon walks into is the best running back room.
Really good player.
Maybe so.
Good Morning Football is presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Push button, get mortgage.